Welcome to this Dream Doors guided meditation. Perhaps just taking these first few moments to set the scene and to arrange your temple space, just as our foremothers and fathers did before us. It might be that you need a blanket, or if you're like me, you might like to light a candle to light the way in the darkness. But just taking these moments to consciously prepare space, the temple of your body, to begin its journey inward into timelessness. Whether you are lying down, sitting up, just perhaps softly tuning into the natural inclination of your spine to lengthen both skyward and earthbound, just like when we were in the womb space. Just notice how you are breathing with no expectation to change. And yet you may notice your natural and automatic deepening of breath and softening of muscles. Through the support of your attention. Leaving the ordinary and everyday worries for later, perhaps speaking to those parts of you who are busy and anxious, that you will attend to them later, and that perhaps for now they might pause and join you in some rest and waking dream time. And so for those of you who do not dream in visuals, perhaps you might tune into the frequencies and sound waves held within my voice and the words I'm speaking. And you might be the curious archaeologist who tenderly and with curiosity follows the sensations, the intuitions, the energy which will make itself known to you. There is no wrong way to dream. And so we begin. With eyes open and a lowered gaze, or with eyes closed, whichever feels right for your nervous system at this moment. Imagine yourself in your kitchen. Noticing the organization of that particular room. The sink, there might be a drip coming from the tap, vibrating against the basin. You might have a kitchen with windows and there might be light streaming in, or the sound of birdsong or traffic vibrating past. In this kitchen, there is a table with a fruit bowl. You find yourself at that table to discover a lemon, the brightest yellow of lemon you have ever seen, and the ruby delight of pomegranate. Just take a moment to hold both fruit in your hands and to feel the texture of their skin, testing through that squeezing motion for their ripeness. Perhaps you might put them to your nose to inquire whether there is any scent available. Choosing one and returning the other fruit to the bowl, you notice a chopping board and knife on the table, and you slice into the fruit of choice, releasing the potent scent. You can hear the gasp of freedom of the fruit as it receives liberation. It has a glistening and juicy texture, and you take the fruit to your mouth and suck or chew, whichever feels right for you, to further release the essence and vibration of these most sacred of fruits. And as you are integrating the scent, the new molecular memories, you notice a door which was not there before. It's taking a moment to acknowledge its colour and its size. You may go over to the door and trace your hands, your fingertips over it. And as you do, you receive information that this door is for you to enter through. That what lies beyond the door is not only the great unknown, that there is something deeply familiar about it. So open the door with the handle, and as you do, the light from your kitchen illuminates a set of stairs going downward, and there is a light switch at the top of the stairs which you can switch on. And step by step, slowly descend. You can hear music playing on a gramophone, and there is an air of familiarity here. You take some time to have a look around in this room. There is memorabilia There are toys of yours that you had forgotten about. Perhaps your favorite toy. There are photographs on a table and in frames of your family, going back generations, way beyond your own knowing. And as you look through the memorabilia, you discover photographs of other times, of people you have never met, but who look just like you. And you can see by the photograph, by their hair, by what they are wearing, and the poses that they take, that this is from very, very long ago. Just breathing into this space. Maybe taking another look around. It's as if this is your family tree, and this cellar is the roots, the mycelium network of your lineage. And it comes to your attention that close to your feet there is a trapdoor. And gathering up the wisdom of your ancestors, the traumas and the treasures, you feel it is safe enough to open this trapdoor. And as you do, and you have a peek inside, you see that there is a lantern lit at the top of another set of stairs. So you gently lower yourself down, pick up the lantern, and begin the descent down some creaky old wooden stairs. They look as though they're raw tree, unfurnished, unpolished by human hand. There's dust and cobwebs, sand. The temperature is cooled somewhat. Feels like there's a draft in this space, and carried on the wind are whispers of old languages, perhaps Aramaic or Greek or Egyptian. And just take a look, be curious about what is held in this deeper space. There are some artifacts. There is pottery pieces, and there's a crystal skull in a corner, which looks as though light is emanating from within it. There are scrolls of hieroglyphs and old coins. There's actually incense burning. It smells of frankincense. This feels like a temple of antiquity. Just taking your time to be curious about what else might be here. Things seem to be making sense for you. There's no words or logical way to describe what you are feeling. And yet your experience is of a high vibration. You notice that your heart is beating strong and slightly accelerated. This is exciting. And as you wander around the space with your lantern, you see a passageway. It's really small. You'll need to set the lantern down and crawl or slither on your belly to access what lies beyond this passage. It feels as if it is an initiation of some sort. That you are not the first to undertake this journey. And so you put the lantern down and begin to crawl or slither through this tight space. You might touch the walls at your side. They're slightly wet and sticky. And the earth beneath you feels cool and warm at the same time. And you have to squeeze to keep moving. It requires you to breathe really slowly and steadily, to trust in this process and to trust yourself to squeeze your way into expansion. There is no time or space for doubt here, and your fear supports you to focus as you push and wriggle and squeeze until all of a sudden you have made it through and are in an opening, a deep, deep cave. There is no light switch and there is no lantern. And you begin to notice that a light is emanating, is radiating from your heart through the fascia and the tissue and the bones and the skin, and gently emitting and lighting up this deep dark cave so that you can see the corners and crevices. In the walls, it looks like there are fossils, crystals. You have a sense of how old and timeless this space is. For some of you, you may have an impulse or urge to breathe louder or to sound, to bring your frequency into this field, where this field feels alive. If you look closely at the walls and the ground beneath your feet, they are breathing. They are gently, rhythmically pulsing and attuning to the rhythm of your breathing, beating, dreaming body. Perhaps taking a moment to inhale, and on the exhale finding a sound. Noticing how this living cave, this womb space, vibrates and welcomes your resonance, your soul's voice. And there is a pot of ochre by your feet, and in closer inspection you see that there are symbols and drawings upon the cave wall. There are also some questions and equations. And perhaps you might like to add something to the wall. Perhaps you have your own questions, your own symbology. That you would like to make. And as you dip your fingers into the pot, wet ochre, and place your fingers and your hands onto the walls of this womb space, in return you receive the knowings of the universe that what has remained largely unconscious to you begins to become accessible in your conscious mind. And taking some moments to gather your treasure of knowing, saying your thank yous and farewells to what this fertile void has shared with you unconditionally. And with your guiding light from within, you crawl or slither on your belly back through that birth canal, squeezing your way through back into the cellar of antiquity. This time the objects within the space feel more alive. They are vibrating at a higher frequency and they are happy to see you. They are vibrating in recognition of your higher frequency. They are glowing also. The whispers are becoming louder and clearer. You leave the lantern, for you have no use of it anymore. The light does not need to be external to you to support you to ascend the steps back up into that room that is so familiar, the one of kinship and lineage and roots. Black and white photographs begin to bring colour to themselves. This feels as though healing has taken place somewhere in this. room, integration, alignment. Something within your constellation is shining brighter, with more ease. And you ascend the steps one more time, back up towards your kitchen. You cross that threshold back into the waking day. You might begin to feel parts of your brain electrifying and vibrating differently. Just noticing. Perhaps you might come back around to your kitchen table and take a seat. Just harvesting and gathering the information which is presenting itself to you for accurate and loving witnessing, for you to integrate. Just taking some final moments here, coming back into your physical body. Perhaps you might allow your spine to begin to stir and awaken some sympathetic nervous system energy. You might wriggle some fingers or your toes or scrunch your face up, softening the jaw and the tongue. Perhaps yawning or lengthening your limbs, just wriggling yourself back into prefrontal cortical thinking, back into this present moment where time and space are linear, where you can write or mark make any of the information which came through for you, whether it makes sense or not. Perhaps you can find a way to document your experience with the knowing that you may dialogue further, that things might begin to reveal meaning as the days, weeks, months pass. That sometimes we glean knowledge not for this moment, but for our future or our past selves. Just taking some breaths, breathing yourself back into being, saying thank you and farewell to your body, the temple of the unconscious, the dimensionality of dreaming awake, and the infinite stories held within our DNA, within our collective unconscious, knowing that you can return to them any time and any night.